All right, so our closing remarks, Annie and Roger. We wanted to talk about a few things.
First and foremost, I cannot believe that Flint, Michigan was brought up.
Man.
That is amazing. I mean, this is what a debate should look like. This is
real issues, not
this is
bullshit.
what we should be talking about. This is, it's, if anyone doesn't know what's going on in Flint, Michigan, it's really scary. The water is extremely...
Since like 2014, they've had extremely contaminated water. Extremely contaminated. High levels of lead. What they did is to save money, they switched over the water system from Detroit's clean water to like this really super contaminated water system in Michigan. And instead of fixing the problem, the mayor and the governor are doing nothing about it. They're just ignoring it because they have so much pressure from the industries that are the causes of the contaminants.
Look it up. It's really serious.
But basically,
but the
really
fact that
that
was brought up in the debate is amazing.
That would never be brought up by a Republican.
Never.
Do you think Trump would talk about something like that?
Next.
Okay, so I'm glad that they talked about the topic of immigrants, mass deportation. They've called Obama the deportator in chief or something like that. It's a really big problem. O'Malley's the only one who brought up how important that issue is, and we didn't talk about it enough in this debate.
He brings up really
good
topics. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the it factor, and he's really...
But I just want to mention one more thing about the Flint, Michigan thing. Something that everybody needs to know that you need to look up what Michael Moore just recently posted today on Twitter, or I think it was Facebook. 60% of that population is black. He honestly thinks that this is maybe a racially motivated thing. It's the majority of the people in that town are either black or just extremely impoverished.
Important
because they don't make enough of an issue about it. So Hillary made that point. She said if this was a rich suburb in Detroit, it would have been addressed.
But another point I want to bring up is the fact that they asked how much of an influence her husband would be.
Right, on economic policy.
I don't like this because, I know they're married, and honestly, I actually liked when her husband was our president, but she is not going to be anything like him, and I feel like that's, again, very ingenuous.
She may not be like him specifically, but she is still the wife of him, and he wasn't the best for economic policy. In fact, it was because of Clinton, all of you older people who are watching this, that NAFTA was introduced, the free trade agreement, and that ended up shipping jobs overseas, tons of jobs overseas. If you guys know that, it was because of that. And because of him, Glass-Steagall was repealed, which is what kept the investment banks and the commercial banks from working together and them taking our deposits and gambling with it.
Great
so
debate.
Honestly, not the best policy. So using him, I don't think he's really popular with us who are really well informed about it. So it works against her. Anyway, that's the end.
I love that the most research, the whole nation,
100% of Google searches.
Google
Bernie
search Bernie.
Sanders.
So,
Boom.
Enough said.
Boom! Feel the burn! Feel the burn!
Peace out.
Feel the burn.